rulers should be on either side. They need to be at least a distance away that your rolling pin can touch them. So don't put a rolling pin a ruler way out here if your rolling pin can touch it. Okay. And then you need your clay. So yesterday we wedged clay for those of you who weren't here, so we'll get you on that in a minute. So I'm going to start with my small bowl. So I'm not going to roll all this out for my small bowls. I'm just going to take a chunk of this clay, put it on my cloth, and I'm going to flatten it out first. So we're going to work smarter instead of harder. You wouldn't put a big old ball of clay here and try to roll it out. Alright? If you come across your rolling pin, it's got all kinds of crusty dusties on it. You can use a tool such as like the rib tool and just kind of scrape those off. Because those are going to leave indents on your slab. Okay? So, purpose of these rulers is that you will be able to roll your slab to this exact thinness because they can't get any skinnier than that. So we want the consistency throughout our whole slab because a fatter piece of clay dries slower than a thin piece of clay, and when this side's drier than this side, it can crack, and you don't want that. And it just seems it's nicer. Okay? So we're going to roll this out. When you start to see like this wet spot, you might start to see it like kind of trying to pull your clay up. You don't want your clay to rip, so you need to stop. Grab a little powder, just like flour on a rolling pin. And keep going. And just keep doing it until your whole slab is as skinny as those rulers. Okay. I know I don't need this section, so I'm not going to waste my time rolling that out. Okay. So, the bowls are located like where you first walk in. There's all different kinds of sizes. I can't say all of you should start with your small bowl because we don't have probably 36 small bowls. So whatever's over there, whatever you want to start with, go with that, okay? So, maybe I should use this one because that was a lot of work. Okay. I'm going to do my big bowl first. Alright, so I put my bowl on top of my nice slab. I do not mash this down, okay? It will just stick to it. I'm just holding it, and I can do two things. I can cut it exactly the shape of the bowl, or I can go a little bit bigger and do waves. So if you like the look of that one, that's because we did these little waves. And notice I'm not making giant waves. They're just a little bit bigger than the bowl. Go ahead and peel away what we don't need. Add it back to your clay. And then we want to start with like a nice smooth slab. So the rib tool is nice on the round side. If you have any like marks on the slab, just kind of gently drag this over your slab. So you have a nice smooth start. Don't worry that the edges might be a little messy. We'll take care of that the next step. Okay. So now the fun part, we get to like add textures to it. So you can think about, you guys will have time to think about like, how am I going to divide this slab up? Do I want to make a pattern? Do I want it to just be random? Whatever. I'm just going to make mine random to show you all the different things you can use and how to use them. Okay. So you want to use fabric. You only have like lace and the little checker pattern. For fabric, you just lay it on the slab. Take the back. This is a clay knife. It's called a fettling knife. So that's a term you'll need to know. But the back of the fettling knife works nice, and you just kind of rub it in. And the lace comes out very, very faint, but when we glaze it, it'll come back because you can see it pretty well in this bowl, but you can't really see it when I pull this away. So just really rub it in. And then peel it away, okay? If you do something and you're like, oh, that's really ugly, just take that rib tool and scrape it away, okay? So then, that's how you use any fabric. We have these plastic sheets with all different kinds of things. Just pick this, some snowflakes, I guess it's winter. If anything plastic or anything besides the fabric needs a light misting of the WD-40, what do you think that helps do?
So it doesn't stick.
Right, so it doesn't stick to your clay and like rip your clay up. So I could do like a whole border of these, or I could just do like a third of my slab with these on it, whatever you feel like doing. The same thing, just rub this in with your finger. Okay, as many places as you want. That's these sheets. We have old printing block stamps. We have these cool plastic ones, these cool ones. All this stuff, whatever you use, needs a light misting of the WD-40. So your goal is to cover your whole slab, so there should be no smooth areas, and to at least use 3 different patterns. That doesn't mean you need to use 3 different things, but 3 different patterns, okay? So I don't care if you use all 3 of the texture sheets, or you only use these, but 3 different ones, that's fine with me. So we're basically just stamping up some clay. Yours will be prettier than mine. Okay? So now you have your slab completely covered, and we have to turn it into a bowl shape. So this technique is called slumping it into a bowl. So anytime you drop a slab into something to form a shape, it's called slump. Okay? So this is a slab that we're going to slump. Alright, those are your vocab words. So I'm going to take this cloth, I'm going to put it on top of my bowl. And you do not want to do this at the wedge table, and you'll see why, but this is just where I demo it. But you don't want to do it because of the powder that's going to come up, okay? So then I'm just going to tap and help this fall or slump into the bowl. Oh, mine broke. Good thing this is mine. Make sure it falls all the way in to that bowl. Okay? So if you don't like this big wrinkle, you want a bowl that isn't as deep. Okay? Because this is just naturally what's going to happen. So if you like think, oh man, that's really ugly. Hers is ugly. Don't pick a bowl that's so tall. Okay? But make sure it falls all the way in. And then these have to sit a day. So that's why we're not starting today, because they'd sit too many days. So you would put your name either on the bowl or in the bowl on a piece of paper. And these are going to go up on a counter for 1 day. And then there's another demo that I have to give. Okay?